Hello everybody, welcome back to the range. Tom here, and we are doing these two cars, this 1983 Silverado and the 70 Chevelle Super Sport Wagon. Unfortunately, you won't be able to see the build I'm doing with the 83 Silverado. That's a kind of a surprise, but I'm going to be making a Chevelle Mad Max style for my buddy Philly's wife. So, this is kind of one of my favorite cool looking castings. I think I really like the stance, I really like the look. I'm not a big wagon person, but this one is pretty cool. You know, I'm gonna first start off this video with the majority of the build being this car and a hauler trailer I am building for Philly as well, to haul his car. That you'll see in case you missed that video, you'll kind of see a little bit of it, but I'm going to be using this 83, and this style of ramp is kind of what I'm going for. I'm not using this piece, but I am going to be building something like it for the 83 to haul around. You know, I pretty much am going to be building this from scratch using my typical styrene, and this is only going to be part one, and this is the 57 or the Chevy Nomad that I made last time. This is pretty much the wider of the two cars that I built for Philly, so I'm using this one as pretty much a kind of a outline of how big or wide to make it, how long to make it. Yeah, I used a tape measure, and I'm going to kind of start doing that if I need to. But I wanted to make sure that no matter how long this trailer was going to be, and that's a lot of focus on part one is a build of the trailer. Part two is probably going to be a little bit shorter because I've been doing a lot of the trailer off camera. So, but you won't get to see the truck, the trailer, or the car until part two. So, you know, I'm pretty much kind of trying to get an idea of how to make the angles for the trailer to be able to work correctly. And it's going to have moving parts, so I want to make sure that it's got a platform, it's got a working hitch. It's a hauler trailer, so it's going to need a drop down ramp. And, you know, I'm trying to work on it. It's been over a week since I started this build, and the hardest part, honestly, was the trailer. The truck, I got done quickly. The car, I got done quickly. But the trailer, it was kind of, I don't know. I had a lot of trouble coming up with ideas for it. Some stuff that I haven't used before, ideas. And this being my third overall, no, this would be technically my second trailer build, or my second hauler style build for a Mad Max car. I still have one more I may be building for my buddy Iggy. If you guys don't remember his Mustang Mad Max style that I built, check that video out. But the trailer, I wanted it to be different. I wanted it to be kind of bigger than most of the trailers I build. I got a couple ideas for Iggy's trailer I'm going to be making him. But after part one, I'm going to take a little bit of a kind of a break on, just so I can get some ideas. So I'm going to be starting like another kind of video in between that, because I still have my 4 Horsemen video I got to do. But I have another 83 Silverado build I'm wanting to do, and I kind of already pre-started everything, or already had everything ready to go. I'm just going to kind of put everything together, paint it up, make it look real nice. So I got that video and my 4 Horsemen build before the end of the month. I got to knock out, and I only got 2 weeks. And the 4 Horsemen build is going to take a little bit, maybe about a week, because I got to get some ideas for it. And, I'm kind of telling you guys this because, you guys can see what I'm using, how I'm doing it, kind of the whole building this trailer. And I wanted it to be cool. Honestly, I wanted it to be unique. And there was no doubt about that. This thing is unique. Because, like I said, I still got a few more odds and end touches. I got some of the moving parts I wanted to do. I kind of got to do some cosmetic stuff to it now. Because pretty much, by the time this video comes out, I've already had majority of the trailer already built. Like I said, it's just mostly cosmetic stuff now. I already got the wheels taken care of and painted, so they're ready. They're sitting off to the side. The 83 hauler is already done. The Mad Max Chevelle's already done. So, you know, I want to try to get this done so I can get it mailed out by the first of the month, so Iggy can get it. And I'm sorry, Iggy, but if you are, or not Iggy, but I'm sorry, Phil, but if you're watching this, whenever you get this package, you cannot open it right away. That is the only stipulation, is you cannot open it. You gotta wait to open it. But if he's like me, I'll make everybody think I haven't opened it. But anyway, you know, I made some I pre-made some axles for the wheels, you know, just to kind of get an idea of how wide the wheelbase was going to be. I already did this twice, one for the truck and one for the trailer. I wasn't going to go kind of classic, you know, stock wheels for the Mad Max style. I wanted to go King of Crunch style, like I did with my last hauler build for Manny. And you guys check out that video. I did do a video on that too. But I want to start making, with anytime I do a Mad Max build for somebody, and I got a couple lined up already. I just got to get some more Mad Max stuff. But anytime I build them a car, I'm going to build them a hauler to go along with it. Whether they're just going to be used for display, or whether they're going to use for the Gaslands game, no matter what it is, they're going to be able to just display it how it is. And, you know, I really like how this trailer was going. I'm going to attempt to make a smaller one later on down the road to haul regular size, you know, non-custom, you know, pretty cars. But that's not going to be until a later date. I'm just wanting to get part 1 out. Part 2, like I said, is going to be a little bit shorter. Because, like I said, the car and the hauler truck is already done. And all it's going to be focusing on in that video is the trailer. And, you know, this video was already starting to get too long. And I knew there was still a lot of stuff I had to get included on the trailer. So that's kind of why I cut it off at a certain time. Because I knew there was more that I was going to need to it, plus all the video footage, because honestly this trailer is too big to be fitting on my turntable. So I'm going to have to be doing like individual photo shots of the actual trailer itself. And you guys will see the car, you guys will see the hauler truck, but the trailer unfortunately is going to be in a still shot photos. But don't worry, I will get angles of everything and put it in part 2. So, you know, right now I'm just, like I said, I'm just kind of going by the basic, you know, trying to get the right angles and stuff like that. So it gives it that car carrying hauler trailer look, you know, because, you know, it's Mad Max. Come on. It go big or go home when it comes to Mad Max, right? Or Gaslands. But I'm not going to be doing a lot of Mad Max stuff until I can get some more material, though. So I'm doing what I can. Like I said, I'm going to be taking a break until I can get some more material, which hopefully won't be too much longer. Mostly cosmetic stuff is what I got left to do on this. So, but, you know, that part of the trailer, you know, I kind of did what I had to, got done at this point. So I decided to turn it back over to the Chevelle because it just came out of the stripper. I knew I was going to want to get rid of that back roof part, and I was going to be making, I don't know, a gunner's hole, I should say. So, you know, me doing me, you know, I got to cut. When I do Mad Max, most of my Mad Max builds, I cut something. So I ended up cutting the back half of the roof off. I liked it like that. Don't look like the Chevelle no more, I'll tell you that much. It almost looks like a 4-door sedan. But at one point, I stopped using my jeweler saw because I was like, you know what, it's just going to take too long. I'm not going to get the line straight. So I switched it over to my my rotary tool. And I got a lot of like redo builds, and I'm going to be taking some cars that I've done in the past, and I'm going to pretty much redo the paint job, maybe some different wheel swap, that kind of thing. Just kind of going over some of my old customs, whether they were on and off camera. So I'm going to be doing a couple of those builds as well. Before too long, the new 4 Horsemen schedule should be out for the year 2023, so keep an eye out for that video as well. It's got a bunch of great castings, bunch of great themes. It's stuff we're going to have fun with, I'll tell you that much. But you see that I'm taking these Samad off-road style wheels. I'm kind of test fitting it at the moment, just seeing how well it's going to go with it. I had to do some modifications to get the wheels to fit. I wanted a set of dualies on the back, so I modified an axle, redid that, made it to where it holds 2 wheels, and you'll see that here in a little bit. Right now, I'm kind of working on the gunner's platform for right now, and the dude in it I ended up getting rid of because he was just way too small for this car. So I decided to just cut him out, cut the opening a little bit bigger so it would fit over where I cut open the roof of the car. Excuse me. I ended up making some roll bars, kind of in the back. Doing a little bit of odds and ends things, just trying some different stuff that I normally haven't done. And this Mad Max car is pretty plain. It's not a lot of there's not a lot of heavy weapons. There's not a lot of armor on it. It's pretty much made to run down somebody and whatever they want to do to it. So it's more likely it's a chase car. So there's not a lot of armor on it. There's not a lot of heavy weapons. There's only this one gun. I didn't want it to go crazy since pretty much, Phil's car, the Nomad build, it's pretty heavily armored and it's got a big motor in it and stuff, and it's got that gunner's seat that drops down from the side. And, if you haven't seen that video, you should check it out. The video turned out really good, and the car turned out amazing. I love how it turned out. But, I'm always trying to do something a little different with each Mad Max build I got. I'm not going to throw typical guns on it or a skull here and there or whatever. I try to do something a little different with each Mad Max build. And, they can't be all the same because it would just get dull and boring. And this is what I'm talking about I told you I had to do a little bit of modifications because I wanted the dualies to fit in here. They don't roll, but oh well. Mad Max Gasland vehicles are not supposed to roll or move, supposedly. But the Nomad does. But, I wanted to get these tires where they fit. And right now I got it set up to where, they got the dualies. I double axled it, double wheeled it, and glued it together just so I know it's set in there. And I'm test fitting everything with the dualies on it just to make sure everything fits. So all in all, just trying to get it done. And like I said, unfortunately you won't get to see the final results until part 2 of this video. And I did say in my last video it was probably going to be a 2-parter. I just didn't know. And at this point, I made it a 2-parter because, I just kind of got to a stopping point. Couldn't think of stuff to do for the trailer. So I'm kind of just doing some research at the time. Just kind of taking a minute just to see. And plus, I got another build I want to start on to just kind of give it a break from Mad Max stuff. And I already got a plan set up. I already got everything kind of worked out. Wheels picked out, everything. It's going to be kind of like a shop truck build. And, I just kind of want to span them out a little bit. I don't want to do the same build each week. I want to do something custom. That's why it's called Caliber 50 Customs. Whether I'm doing a paint job or whether I'm doing a wheel swap, whether I do a wheel swap, there's always going to be a paint job, with it. So I'm not always, when people do wheel swaps, I don't do just wheel swaps. I do a paint job or add a little extra to it, detailing up the interior, whatever it may be. I like my builds set off from everybody else's because it shows that, And no offense to any other builder, I personally see it as, you know, if I'm watching somebody's video and I'm trying to do the same thing they're doing, I see it as I'm copying them, that I'm taking their ideas. And that's not the case at all. You know, I try to do my things, you know, because people like my Mad Max builds, you know, people like my custom builds. So, you know, I lean more towards the custom, you know, scratch build stuff, because everybody seems to really like my scratch builds, you know, because I try to do things nobody else does. And you're kind of getting a picture, and I know I'm rambling on and stuff, but you know, you're kind of watching the video and you're listening to me at the same time. You know, you see that I'm drilling holes in the hood. Now, there's only a couple things most people do that for: some exhaust sticking out of the hood, or you know, they're just trying to whatever. But I'm making some exhaust coming out of the hood, you know, just trying to test fit pieces of brass tubing that I got, and I ended up using some aluminum tubing because it fit better and it was easier to cut. So I wanted to give it that stacked look in the front, whether, you know, whatever. Yeah, I had a hammer, just trying to get it in there to where it'll fit perfectly and where it's not going to be moving around a bit. You know, the stacks are a little too big, so I ended up trimming them down a little bit. So, and you see there's not a lot of armor going on at this time, because right now, before I put any more armor and stuff, I'm trying to get everything set up for the front end so I can add armor around the vehicle. And this, all in all, I love doing these scratch builds, and I love doing things I've never seen before. But we're coming close to the end of part 1. Like I said, stay tuned to part 2 of this Mad Max hauler build. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, but like I said, stay tuned for part 2 of the Mad Max, and I'll see you next time at the range.